Welcome into NBA Now. I am Tom Downey. If you guys want more NBA videos with the finals almost here, and what I think is going to be a pretty bonkers offseason, lots of player movement as there often is, then like this video. Help us show the bosses you want even more NBA coverage here at Chat Sports. We begin with what else but the LeBron James retirement. I don't know, maybe news is more accurate here since LeBron himself was the one who was floating this out to a certain extent. LeBron asked about his future in the NBA after last night's Western Conference Game 4 final sweep at the hands of the Denver Nuggets. Didn't commit to playing basketball going forward. Said he has a lot to think about. ESPN caught up, was like, confirmed, like, hey, you were thinking about retiring. He's like, yeah, I got a lot to think about. They talked with Anthony Davis. He was surprised at first, and Davis kind of also relayed a conversation that he had with LeBron about, talking about the 2024 Olympics, and LeBron saying I might be done by then, and AD's saying, well, I meant 2024, not 2028, and LeBron said, yeah, I might not be doing that anymore. So there is at least internally from LeBron, not the first time this has been mentioned, but it is the first time it's really come up in public conversation. Here's what LeBron asked about, or said when asked about in a rather somber press conference after losing to Denver. We'll see what happens going forward, he said. I don't know. I've got a lot to think about, to be honest. Just for me personally, going forward with the game of basketball, I've got a lot to think about. And LeBron also talked about, could you rehab or return? Because I think that foot injury, by the way, is a bigger factor than what's maybe been let on in this whole conversation previously. He says, I'm still better than 90% of the NBA, maybe 95%. It is, I've yet to find the stats for it. LeBron James was this close to averaging a triple-double in a series in which he got swept. That is very unheard of in the NBA. He averaged in the 4 games played against Denver, 52% from the field, almost 28 points per game, 9.5 rebounds per game, and 10 assists per game. I'm 1.5 steals and almost a full block per game as well. And he played all but like 4 seconds of game 4. Even at age 38, as ancient as LeBron is by NBA age standards, he's still great. I do think that foot injury was a real bother for him. And there was the report that he needed surgery, he was out for the year. He went to the LeBron James of feet, weird thing to say, and was able to hang around and play through it. I think there's a good chance he needs surgery this offseason. Maybe it all comes down to LeBron's going to get the update on the foot and then make a decision from that perspective. But there's no doubt at his advanced age, LeBron is undisputably one of the greatest players of all time. Is he one? Is he two compared to Michael Jordan? I'm sure there are haters that will put him at like 10 or 7 because they just don't want to appreciate the greatness in front of them. But today's pinned comment, feel free to embrace the debate at that pinned comment, especially if the ad break comes here on YouTube, is to rank LeBron James among all NBA players ever. Where does he rank? Sound off and fight if you need to in the comment section. Some more conversation now around LeBron is he's made it very clear publicly in the past that he wants to play with his son, Bronny, who, of course, is going to spend his at least freshman year at USC. And LeBron also has made the comment that that's what he wants, might not be what Bronny wants to do, and he'll respect that as a father. Here's an idea out there. What if he retires for a year or sits out the year due to that foot injury and recharges and comes back when he has that player option next year and contracts retirement? You can't necessarily get out of it, so a little bit of wonkiness there. What if it's just a year off? Recharge for a year. Then come back, sign with whatever team drafts Bronny, and assuming Bronny's good enough to go pro and does so next year. I myself just hope LeBron keeps playing. I have always had the mindset that we get too caught up in legacy and debates and where does this guy rank? Is he number 1? Is he number 2? I just want to enjoy the greatness. Watching LeBron play, watching these elite NBA players do what they're able to do that most of us watching can't even think of doing properly is special. So I hope LeBron keeps playing. He's still playing at a high level as old as he is. A testament to how well he's trained and taken care of his body. But it is a matter of when, not if, Father Time eventually beats LeBron. He is undefeated, after all. So will LeBron James retire this offseason? Sound off in the comments section with a Y for yes or an N for no. Now, you can also bet on this with our sportsbook partner, chatsports.com/bet. Promo code chat125 gets you 125% deposit bonus. You can bet on the NBA Finals. You can bet on the NBA Draft. Tons of player props out there as well, including ones on LeBron. Well, LeBron is a heavy favorite to not retire this year. Minus 2,500, he won't retire. Plus 850, he will. That's a fairly significant early odds on what LeBron will end up doing. You can also bet futures. Will Bronny and LeBron be on the same team? Not this upcoming season, but the next one when Bronny's first eligible for the NBA. The no is the betting favorite as well there. Minus 220 versus plus 155. You can bet on that and a whole lot more. MLB, of course, anything related to the NBA, NFL, when that gets going again at BetUS. Head over to chatsports.com/bet and use promo code CHAT125 for a 125% deposit bonus when you put down at least $100. Kyrie Irving conversation. Oh, look, it's back again. Here we go. Brian Windhorst, leading up to the sweep by the Lakers, said, Irving might be ready to come to the Lakers. You know, the pitch is, look how close we were. What if we swap Irving for D'Angelo Russell? It's not a bad pitch, by the way, for L.A., although there is this other problem. The Mavs probably want Kyrie Irving back. And unless Irving's going to take a whole lot less, he ain't going to be able to get the max from the Los Angeles Lakers. Irving has been, controversial over the last couple of years in the NBA. Kind of forced his way off the Nets, has missed a bunch of time in recent years, but played pretty darn well. I know the Mavs collapsed this year. Tough for me to assign blame to Kyrie for that particular one. I think there were other issues, Jason Kidd in particular, that really stand out for Dallas this past year. If Kyrie's like, I'm going to play with the Lakers no matter what, and the Mavs go, okay, we'll get something back for him, potential sign and trade could look like this. This does work money-wise in the old NBA trade machine. Lakers get Kyrie, Mavs get D'Angelo Russell, and a swing in Jared Vanderbilt. So they recuperate something, although it would have to be a dual sign-and trade, and you would have to be committing big-time money for D'Angelo Russell. I love D'Angelo Russell on offense, although D'Lo did not have a great series against Denver, but he's a massive liability defensively. He's pretty bad. And it's not like Luka's an elite defensive player right now. That would be a pretty big red flag for me as it relates to how the Mavs guards are able to play defense, especially given their glaring needs at center right now where they have nothing really of note. So, we will talk plenty about Kyrie Irving. Where do you think he plays this upcoming season? Is it just back in Dallas and pairing up with Luka again? Does he end up in L.A. and rejoin LeBron, who we, to be honest, never should have left in the first place? Sound off with your predictions in the comment section, and please make note. We will be here for everything you need around the NBA offseason. The draft, we were live for the live. That was quite a bit of fun. Sorry, Jeremy, he's a Rockets fan. He was in shambles. He and some other guys here at Chat Sports were disappointed. The Spurs, of course, get Victor. We'll be here for free agency, the trades, all of it, and, of course, the NBA Finals as well. So make sure you guys are subscribed. YouTube.com/ChatSportsTV. Let's talk some coaching drama and some maybe trade rumors on some Boston Celtics players as well here, although that's all speculation because the Celtics are not technically eliminated, which is, probably more of a matter of when, not if, they end up getting eliminated. Could be as soon as Game 4, right? Head coach Joe Mazzulla has frankly looked outmatched, and the rumors, the buzz, the speculation of him being on the hot seat now exist. Because the Celtics, as far as I think most of us would agree with this, they quit in Game 3. A Boston Celtics, a must-win playoff game, Eastern Conference Finals, and they absolutely just laid an egg. It was a disaster. Now, Jayson Tatum, of course, their superstar, has been up and down. Neither he nor Jaylen Brown, we'll get to in a minute, have been very inefficient. He's not shot the ball at an efficient rate. He's under, I think, 45%. 4 turnovers, more turnovers than assists. But I'm not blaming Jayson Tatum first on Boston among the players. Jaylen Brown has been bad. Like, Jaylen Brown is supposed to be a 20, 25 point per game scorer, and he's been, frankly, a bit of a disaster. I mean, this is a guy who averaged 26.5 points per game in the regular season, and he's down to 16.7 that is unacceptable level of play out of Jaylen Brown. He has to do more. Look, he played well against the Sixers in that closeout game, but his numbers have dropped points per game each and every single one. He's not shooting very well either. He's been pretty inefficient there. And that's led to rumors, speculation, maybe more so, that could Boston split up the Brown-Tatum pairing because they've missed a massive chance. They're playing the 8 seed, and I do want to give credit to the Miami Heat. They've done a fantastic job. Playoff Jimmy's is unbelievable. But Boston has missed a big opportunity. You can look back to when the Bucks had their chance when they won that title. That was the Bucks' best chance. They've not won one since then. Is this the Celtics' best chance? Do they make major changes? This is an overreaction league after all. The NBA, look at all the coaches that have been fired. We'll get to those in a little bit here, by the way. I don't think Boston should blow it up and, dump the Brown-Tatum pairing quite yet. But you can't just run it back next year and expect things to suddenly be different. So changes are going to be needed for Boston because this is a failure, plain and simple. They should have made the finals at minimum. They're not going to do that, it seems. So who has to go on Boston? Sound off for me in the comment section right now. If the Celtics do dump Joe Mazzulla, by the way, the top 3 Eastern Conference teams would have all fired their coach. Let's spend some time on something here, including the Philadelphia 76ers. The search for Doc Rivers' replacement is underway. Still early on in the process of this. Yes, I did that on purpose. 5 of the 6 coaches linked or going to interview for the job are former NBA head coaches. Keep an eye on Nick Nurse, who, by the way, is getting a lot of traction for pretty much every job after the Raptors had fired Nurse earlier this offseason. Steve Nash is the newest candidate. The NBA just loves recycling failed NBA coaches. I don't really understand it. Seems like upwards of 15 coaches, by the way, for a massive net that has been cast, could be interviewed for the Raptors head coaching job. So that one still a bit away. The Pistons are down to 3, still waiting on a finalization there. And the Bucks, per ESPN, are also down to 3 finalists. On one hand, Giannis and a ready-to-win roster makes this one of the best open jobs. On the other hand, that core group is beginning to age, and there aren't very many picks and ability to move assets around for Milwaukee. So it's kind of win quickly, and then it's kind of a bit of a retool around Giannis after that. The 3 finalists for this Bucks job: Nick Nurse, who is going to be linked for every single job that comes open. Kenny Atkinson, who, remember, was going to take the Hornets job last year, said, I'll pass, could get the Bucks job now. Be a nice little win for him. Well, I think he got the short end of the stick, by the way, in Brooklyn. And Adrian Griffin, the Raptors assistant, seems going to interview all the time. Matter of, I think, when, not if, he gets a full-time coaching job.